Hey everyone, this is Ty here, your fitness director from Lava, back at you with doing some interviews with some success stories of our members who've been having great results with their program design, along with our Lava training and our semi-personal training. We're here with Alan Cudahy. We call him Al for short, and he's going to share with us just a little bit of results he's had. He's been about 2.5 months on the program design. He came in my office and he'd sat down and talked about some old school methods he's done. He's been active for years. He's lived out in Colorado, right?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
And he's always been an avid athlete, skiing, water skiing, mountain climbing, and chasing women, as a matter of fact. That's tough enough. And he was wanting to try out some functional training and see what some new stuff that's coming out with the knowledge of fitness that we could give him as far as stabilization and functional training. So we're going to let Al kind of share with us some of his success and what's going on here. Al?
Well, I've, like we say, I started about 3 months ago, and my motivation was that I have a young son and I just wanted to see if I can keep up with him.
And how old is your son?
He's 8.
8 years old.
Actually, he's just turned 9.
And if you don't mind me asking, to the public, how old are you?
78.
78 years old. Well, let's just end the interview right there. Shut it down. You guys just turn the TV off. That's enough right there just to tell you that we have great programs for you. We have great results. And if you follow along with it with persistence, as Al has, hard work coupled with the basics and staying persistent, you cannot go wrong. So tell me some more about, what was the first program we put you on? Do you remember?
We worked on, well, I don't know what the program was called, but we worked on about 6 pieces of equipment. It was pretty much all upper body. I had a fractured neck about June of last year, and I was really working on, I'd gone through therapy, and that's how I got hooked up with Ty here. And man, it's made a huge difference because my neck is fine, my mobility is way better than it was, and
I remember that. He had some he had some mobility issues, and as we say in Kentucky, he was tighter than a banjo string. and he sure was. So we integrated that into his program because remember, when you move better, you can exercise better. I believe we started you off on the TRX straps.
So we did TRX, worked on the ball. We did some pull down, a lot of pull downs on the wire machine. Mm-hmm. And that has really worked on my shoulders. Mm-hmm. My neck mobility is still not like most people, but it's way better than it was. That's no question about that.
Yeah, and judging, we did his assessment from the start, and that's how we found some of those issues. If you've watched a couple episodes back, we take you through a full body assessment, and that tells me where you need to be, what muscles are overactive and what are underactive, meaning too strong and too weak. And we found that we did all that weightlifting in the past. Now, he's got some guns on him. He's got a good baked potato right now. and we found that, so we had tailored that to him, and since then he's changed his well, we're due for a third change. We've changed his program twice.
We went through the second set was permanence in the weight room, doing easy things like wall push-ups, TRX pull-ups, chest presses, chest pull downs, little leg extensions, and some curls on the ball. And that, I really like that program really well, but I'm ready to go up to the next level now.
Yeah, he is ready. And mind it that a lot of the stuff is strength endurance. So when we coupled it, the sets and reps and tempo, that all comes into play. It's not just throwing exercises out there and just doing them and feel better like, so much of the past. There's a system for it. Now we're actually ready to move him on to more of a hypertrophy stage, and still incorporating some of those mobility. And it doesn't need to take a whole lot of mobility. Most people will go through a full body thing that takes 30 minutes, and then they'll try to work out for 45. And how much time do you really have in a day? It's all about persistence, and really it's about the quality of getting in. It's not so much about the quantity. People focus on that too much. So yeah, we're due to amp him up a little bit, and he'll be into a hypertrophy stage. What about as far as like feeling good getting up in the morning? I know you've always been a healthy guy.
It's really made a huge difference. I always feel better after my workout. Mm-hmm. I'm sleeping better. I was amazed this morning when we did the body fat analysis that I'm down to 20%, which is really great.
9% loss. He started off at 29%. and we just weighed him, and he's at 190 pounds, which is awesome. I aspire to be that when I'm 78 one day. And you've lost 9% body fat. That's really good. So congratulations on that. I'm proud of you for that. And then also, I tell you something interesting you told me, and your wife tells me, they have like a certain playtime at night that they set out for your son Carson.
Carson, right.
And that was his big thing. When he came and sat down in the office, he said, listen, my biggest goal is, I'll let you tell it.
To keep up with Carson.
Yeah.
We got started because Carson didn't like to lose. And so we started playing different games, and every night we get to pick what game, one of us get to pick what game, and we rotate. And Carson always plays tag or it, and I couldn't keep up with him. Well, I'm keeping up with him now. He can run faster than me, but I can run him down, and that's a big, big change.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so, yeah, he's keeping up with him. And your goal, you said, to see him graduate and go through college.
My goal is to see him through college if I can.
Yeah, that's great. And also, another point about Al, too, is he's been a very successful businessman and owner with a printing business, right?
I worked for Eastman Kodak in the graphic arts industry, yes.
Yeah, since you were in your 20s, 30s?
Actually, no, I worked in the industry for quite a few years. I didn't join Kodak until I was about 30 years old, yeah.
And what was your first experience with training or any personal training? Or
the first experience I had was later on in life. I think I was about 40, and I started working, did the Bill Phillips, and I did several other programs. But this program has been the best I've been in so far because it's really personalized.
Bill Phillips, that's a very extensive program, and we saw that a lot during his assessment. There was just, weightlifting's fine, but you got to remember, flexibility, conditioning, and strength, that's 3 pyramids to hit the muscle. So if you do just strength, these knots pop up, and it can start, a lot of times if you're doing it in incorrect form, you start getting stable in one way, or you start getting fixed in one position. That's why he had tight shoulders. So hopefully he's still using his foam roller. And
oh yeah, I work out. Actually, I'm using the ball now because I'm not what the heck is it? It's a squash ball, the round hard ball.
Lacrosse ball.
Lacrosse ball, thank you. Anyway, I've been using that a lot because I get a few hot spots and I can whirl those out. And when I do that, I sleep way better. It's a really good program. I use the roller. I call it the log.
Yeah.
And that helps a lot. But the ball on the wall really makes a difference on any hot spots that you might have in your body.
And it takes you, what, 6 to 10 minutes out of your
Not even, maybe 5 minutes at night. I usually do it before I go to bed because it makes me sleep a lot better. Yeah.
Well, Al, I really appreciate that. And as a matter of fact, he's always been on our success list, but he actually popped his head in my office, and that makes me so proud when people are on their program design and I see they're actually doing it. And that's how we do it here, that's cheaper than personal training. A lot of times personal training, you run to 60, 70, 80 bucks a session, and that's the demand for trainers now. And in my opinion, that is expensive. But what we have here for you is you can get on a design for $69 a month or $99, and then you can have me write it out for you, and I'll meet with you however much you need, right? Until you took it off. And then you take it on your own. And he is persistent with it. He popped his head in and said, listen, I need to up my program. And I thought, well, shoot, that's great. And we checked his body fat. He's 9% down. And really, I really appreciate you doing this interview.
I think one of the great parts of this, too, is I only work out 3 days a week. I work out Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and that's all that, too. It's about an hour, 3 hours a week, and make me feel great.
Well, you look great, and you're truly a role model.
Oh, thanks.
It's an inspiration. Thanks for doing this interview with us. And you guys hang tight. We're going to interview a couple of more success stories. This aspect, we're taking Akeem through a dynamic warm-up, and we're going to start with the mobility of the hips. We're going to start with flexibility of the hamstrings, and all in all, it's going to be mobility of the spine. So this is going to be basically a full-body dynamic warm-up to get the muscle tissues heated up, to get the synovial fluid flowing. And remember, this may look difficult at home, but you can do this. We have a regression. So we're going to show the regressions for everything, and then Akeem's going to show the progressions, okay? Now keep in mind, he's tight. So that's why we wanted to use him as a model and stuff, right? He's got all that power and plyometrics in basketball. His muscle fibers have tightened up a lot. So the training we've been doing together, I've been spending time with Akeem, doing a lot of flexibility. So we're going to put him to the test here on camera, and we're going to check out some of these dynamic warm-ups. First, we're going to start with the hips. So he's going to come on down. He's going to come to his elbows. His feet's going to be out, right? And this is very simple, very basic, and you can do this with us at home. If you have DVR, just press rewind. All right, he's going to set back 5 times and try to touch his butt to his heels. Go ahead, push back. So he's going to slide his hips down to the ground. Good, there's 1, and then push back, and there's 1. We're going to do 5 of these. Push back, there's 2. There, push back, try to get back deep. There's 3. So see, he's also stretching his shoulders here. He's getting his pelvis. He's getting his hip flexors. There's 4. And let's do 1 more. And there's 5. Good. Now he's going to stay in that same position. He's going to come up on all 4s to his hands. Toes still pointed out, knees on the ground. Now this time, I'm going to scoot back. He's going to take his right leg and put it straight out here. Come on out. Good. Toe pointed forward, and his foot's going to be flat. Okay, so keep in mind, he's got some tighter hamstrings here, so it's going to show you all, you might have a limited range of motion. Now all he's going to try to do is he's going to set his hips back and try to touch his glute to his heel back there. Push back and then forward. There's 1. There's 2. Now this might look easy, but he's definitely feeling that. Are you feeling that? Absolutely. There's 3. 4. And push back again. There's 5. Now he's going to stay in the same position. He's going to put his toe up. He's going to do 5 this way. Try to straighten that leg. Chin up. Now push back 5 times. There's 1. There's 2. 3. 4. And 5. Let's switch legs. Now he's going to go a little bit more urgent here because you can go a little quicker. It's not about how slow you go. It's about getting that mobility in your hips and getting your flexibility back in your hamstrings. He's going to point his toes straight. I'll come over here. He's a little tighter in this leg, I noticed too. He's tight in his wallet as well. All right, so sit back 5 times. There's 1, 2, 3, cuadro, and cinco. Good. Toe straight up. So now when he does that, that small position, do you feel that small little, it's a different stretch in the hips and the hamstring. Now come back 5 times again. This is mobility you can do from home. This is important. It gets the synovial fluid flowing. It gets your hips more mobile. And if there's nothing else you can do 10 minutes of mobility a day. And it'll increase your fitness. It'll increase your blood flow. It's good for your metabolism, right? Let's do 1 more, Akeem. I lost count. He's on 8. Good, and relax. So he's going to come back down. Now he's going to work his spine, spinal mobility, and his shoulders, okay? We call these dive bombers. We also call these Hindu push-ups. All right, so he's going to get into his push-up position here, and he's just going from the knees on this one. This is the regression. So sit your hips down, cross over at the ankles. All right, what he's going to do, he's going to swoop down like he's kissing the turf, and he's going to end up looking up at the ceiling. Then he's going to swoop back, and he's going to end up looking at his knees. So swoop on down there. Swoop down, up, good. Back, down. This looks kind of familiar, right? A little bit of yoga, okay? Remember, yoga is always our foundations, right? So let's do it again. Let's do 4 more of these. Swoop down, up, swoop back, there. See how it's getting his whole shoulder girdle? It's getting his spine, getting everything. He's a great model. He's a great model to do this too because he stops when I'm ready to describe. Let's go again. Let's do 3 more. Good. 2 more. Swoop up. Good. Tighten those abs. Come back down. And 1 more. Good. So that's a great flow. Now, for the people at home that want to go from the toes, the progression, let's go from the toes and let's spread our feet out. Let's do about 3 from here. I know when Akeem and I started training and stuff, I had him doing this. So let's come to a push-up position. You're going to go feet wide, right? And you're going to be up, hands wide. All right, start off looking down at your feet, hips high. Swoop down and look up at the ceiling. Good. Swoop back down, look down. Nice. Good job. Good. Let's do 1 more. See how that's getting? He's getting a press in too, along with a pull right there in his lats. This is very full body. And relax. He just got good at those about 10 minutes ago, by the way. I know we struggled those first couple of sessions. And relax, Akeem. Good. Hey guys, we're back. Ty Bostic, your Lava Fitness Director here, and I'm with Harriet Reed. God, that's such a beautiful name.
You're sweet.
Harriet lives in Shelter Cove, and you've lived on the island now for
about 5 or 6 years. Yeah.
5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
And you are from
Spartanburg, South Carolina.
I knew it, and I should have said it wrong there.
That's okay.
That's my beautiful pass-through. And but Harriet has been with us now for about 2.5, close to 3 months. She's been doing our lava training, and she comes into our small groups as well. Actually, as a matter of fact, we did your program design about 2 weeks ago and got you kicked off on that. So that's a benefit. Remember that. Along with your training, we give you stuff to do through the gym, and I follow up with you, right? And actually with a log, your training log on Fridays. But Harriet's going to also share with us some of her success, which you're having. You look great. She's always got a great upbeat attitude.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's not just for the camera. This is always how it is. My day brightens when I get to meet and talk to her. That's for camera. So go ahead.
That's wonderful. I started out doing small groups. Really enjoyed that. Enjoyed all the classes I've taken. They're always different. That's what's so great about it. It's I come in and you never know. Different trainers have different ways that they go about the exercises, and it's quite fun because you're challenged every time. And when I leave, I feel like I have really had a great workout.
Yeah, and you can feel the system of it, like compared to back probably the old days. You said you had experience in the past with going to gyms, and you know, long gone are the slow 3 sets on this body part, 3 sets on this, and then this. We know a way to cycle it. So that way you're getting a great blood flow, and that's metabolic training. We do have a good finisher in there. And tell them right now, how much body fat have you lost?
5% in only 2.5 months or whatever. It feels great. I feel wonderful. I can tell my clothes are fitting better. I could walk a little taller. Everything's better. It's really, I can tell a huge difference.
And your diet, I know she talks about, obviously you can just, there's something about some people you can see and be like, I bet you're such a good cook.
Oh, no.
I'd love to.
I don't know about that.
I would love it if my mom or I married you, because I just know it. But she said she eats really clean.
Yeah, I try to, yeah. What is the 80% rule, where you try to do as well as you can for 80% of the time, and then you might have a slip up here or there, but
do well the next day.
Start out again.
Dean Orange. We talked about the Dean Orange diet a lot. You know, you really got to focus on a lot of good vegetables. Right, stay away from a lot of the animal fats.
Do as much as that as you can. Roughage, and as dark green as you can get it. So that's what I try to do, and it's really made a difference. It really has. You just feel better. Your mind's clearer. Everything's better. So.
And as far as your family life, you have.
I have 2 grown boys. Well, actually, not totally grown. They're never totally grown. One's in college, and one's already out and working. And I have my husband. And we do a lot of boating, we do a lot of activities. We're always going, which is so much fun. And that's part of the lifestyle down here in Hilton Head. You're just doing something all the time. And I've got to exercise to keep up. It's wonderful.
Yeah, and Harriet's been interesting with some of the sessions that I've come in and taught. I've always kind of found myself to stay on to her a little bit, because she's a jokester. When we say, okay, we're going to go 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest, she'll be like, oh, can't we go lower? Like, no, Harriet, that's the lowest you go. Like, 30-15, you had said something. So basically, I remember I always have to go over and give her a little push, and then once she gets rolling, she is going. And she's been doing great, and she's one of the reasons.
Well, I didn't know I could do as much as I am doing now.
No.
And you've pushed me to do it, and I had no idea I could do as many exercises as I'm doing now. So
well, the point of having a trainer, so we're there to look at form. And I don't think you did this per se, but she likes my joke of saying somebody will come over and we're doing some presses for a station, and they'll grab those 10-pounders. I'll say, honey, your purse weighs more.
It does.
Yeah. So yeah, don't be afraid to push yourself, because we're there to correct your form and take you through.
Exactly. And you did my push and my pull. I did all my classes, and now I've got exercises in between to come in and do for about 20 minutes when I can fit it in, and to do more upper body, and I'm happy.
And what's your, I've asked a lot of people this, what's your favorite exercise that we do in there?
I think I like the TRX. I like hanging from the rope. That's quite fun.
That's good. Suspension training. That's where it's all come to now. Most people would say what's your least favorite? Sled?
Ropes.
Oh yeah, that's so tough.
Ropes, that's hard. It looks great on TV, and then you try to do it, and it's crazy. But you really feel it really burns you fast. I mean, you can tell, and I can tell my arms.
Amp that metabolism up.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, Harriet, is there anything else, before we leave here that you'd like to maybe give some advice or give pointers to people that's watching as far as just fitness in general? That's where it's come to now. And as far as, a lot of people are on medications nowadays and this, and they're...
You just have to get out and move. And Lava is a great place to do it. It's fun, it's exciting every day, something new. And I look forward to my workouts now, where I used to just dread it, and now it's fun because you come into a great atmosphere. I'm learning more and more about exercise and nutrition every day, and just got to try it.
Oh, well, thank you so much for that. I take that as a big compliment.
Oh, good.
And stuff.
Good.
So, yeah, thank you for coming. And so are you headed to Long John Silver's now?
I don't think so.
There's like one on the island. She just goes to Black.
No,
She said something.
No.
I'm not sure. But
No, I'm going to have a
nice,
smoothie.
great.
I'm going to have a smoothie downstairs.
There
That's
you
what I'm
go.
going to do. How about that?
Perfect.
It's great
Perfect.
to see you.
Well, Harriet Reed, everyone, and if you bump into her, she's a Shelter Cove member. She's a very smiley face on the island. You see her out and about and such. So
Thank you.
Make sure, if you're like me, give her a big hug. Because she's a very sweet person.
Thanks.
96, 97, 98, 99, 100. Whew. Thanks, Keem. Thank you for watching, everyone. And let's thank Akeem. And let's wish him luck on his future basketball career. He's done great at showing and demoing the exercises. I'm Ty Bostic here, your fitness director at Lava. And remember, a 1-hour workout is only 4% of your day. No excuses. See you soon.